Welcome back to the channel. It's Phil again here at Harris Automotive. We have a 2012 Audi A7 that we are replacing the motor mounts. We're going to do a quick video to show you guys how to replace these mounts. They look a little bit difficult. They look a little bit tight to get to, but they actually pretty simple to do. I'm going to turn this camera around and we're going to go ahead and get going. First thing we're going to do is get the sway bar down. All right, so here's the first step that we need to do, what we like to do. Get a sway bar removed. You got two studs right here. You got two studs right here. You have a bracket that holds the front sway bars up. Just get them four studs out the way. On the driver's side of the engine, you have an oil cooler that mounts here. You got 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me show you your oil cooler. Here's your oil cooler. And like I tell you, 4 bolts, a couple hoses, kind of self-explanatory. You're gonna have a gasket in between it. Now, once we get that down, we're also gonna take out these 2 bolts here. That's gonna be the motor mount bracket, because you have another one that kind of goes through this bracket that mounts right there. I'm gonna show you how your engine mounts mount up, and it's the same thing over here. Let me bring it down, that way I can show you guys what it looks like to have a collapsed motor mount, how you can tell before you take these things out of the car. So let me show you, here are your motor mount bolts. Wheel arch liner, and take a step back, take a better look. You have your wheel arch liner, and you have 3 bolts for your motor mounts. 1, 2, and a 1 in the middle. I want you to see the level on that one right there. It's kind of right in the middle of the window, but it's still sitting down slightly. We're gonna come over to the driver's side, the passenger side. Again, same area, wheel arch liner. Look at the collapsedness in there. You can see the rubber. Your collapse, this mount is definitely broke and collapsed. Same thing, 2 bolts there, 1 bolt, 2 bolt. So we're gonna get these 3 bolts out, and that's the next step, get the motor mounts out. Just to point out, this here's our motor mounts, our new motor mounts. This will look like outside the car. Again, got 2 bolts, 1, 2, and 3 for the center. We're gonna take the old motor mounts out, and we're gonna compare them to our new motor mounts. That way you can see the difference. All right, so here we go with our motor mounts removed. Here's the comparison right here. So we have an old motor mount. You can see it's collapsed right here. You see the difference in the height. How this is down and this is up. This one over here is broke though. Let me show you. This here was the passenger side, and we had the broke motor mount. Let me show you about this shield. The shield that I was telling you about, that bolts right here, is tough to get out. Just push it down to the side, out of your way on both sides, and then reinstall. Let's get this thing installed and reverse order. Oh, excuse me. Also, get yourself a jack. That way it can lift the engine up and get it out the way. We got a block of wood under the oil pan to support the engine, to keep it up so we can get the mounts in and out. All right, pretty much we're just installing in reverse order. We have a new mount installed there on the drivers, and we have the new mount installed over here on the passenger. Let me show you what it looks like when these mounts are sitting flush and good. See how the center bolt, you have your outers, see how your center bolt is sitting nice and level. That's when you know your engine mounts are good. We're gonna come over to this side over here, give you guys a little better comparison as well. You can see how that is raised and that is sitting well also. So what we're gonna do at this point, we're gonna get our sway bar up, but prior to that, we're gonna get our oil cooler remounted with the new gasket and the hoses. Again, pretty straightforward here. A bolt here at the bottom for our oil cooler. We have our new oil cooler gasket mounted to the oil cooler. We got our oil cooler bolted up with the bolts up top. The bolts up top are a little tight, but you can get to them if you just take your time and use your torque spits. Gonna get our cooling hoses back on. We're gonna get our brackets, mount up our sway bar. Also over here on this side, I forgot to mention, is you have to remove this bracket here. This bracket just holds your wiring harnesses and things. Take it out right here with the E square, and that comes down and goes back in. So just be careful not to strip these on this side, because you'll make your life hell. Take your time, remove them, and start them cleanly. And use new clamps if you can, not necessarily, but if you got 2 new clamps, put 2 new clamps on your hoses here. All right, real fast, here's a little tidbit here for you guys. These bolts are kind of difficult. There it is, it's better. These bolts are kind of difficult to get to. So what we like to do, we like to put some butyl tape, we call it dum-dum, on the tip of the Torx. Put that in there. And what that'll do, because these are aluminum bolts, so a magnetic Torx bit won't work. And that's what we do. Just get butyl tape, just a quick little bit of information for you, and that's how you hold the bolt on. And so he's going to take that, and as you can see, it holds still, and it won't fall. Just that easy. Just do them all like that. Here it is, as promised. We have our heater hoses back on, oil cooler installed. 2 bolts for our sway bar, and this job is basically complete. Come over here, very simple, push pins and everything for our wheel arch liners on both sides. We're gonna get our lower tray back up. This car also had an oil leak. We did an oil repair on an oil filter housing, replaced that. We're gonna get this thing cleaned up, and this bad girl's about to start up.